2019. So this presentation is different than what we've ever done. We have our presenter on the phone, so I'm not presenting. I'm gonna just, flip the slides for you. So Jason is on the line. Jason is with Optum. Optum is our new EAP provider. Okay, we used to, if any of you used EAP in the past, it was through CompSci. So I don't know if any of you guys remember that name. No more CompSci, okay? So Optum is the new provider. So what we wanted to do was introduce the program, let you know all the different options you have within that program, and tell you more about it. So Jason is going to be on the line. Jason, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Can you guys hear him? So we got to kind of listen. It's a little bit different, like I said, but we're going to do our best to get through this. And Jason, I don't know if you want to just tell me next, and then I'll go to the next slide.
Yeah, if you're on the first screen, you can go ahead and go to the next slide.
Okay, Jason, it's all yours.
Excellent, thank you. Well, welcome everyone. As Cindy said, my name is Jason Hagan. I'm with Optum. I'm a client executive here to talk to you about your new employee assistance program. Don't know what you know about EAP programs, but for the most part, a lot of people think that the employee assistance program is just for counseling or therapy. And so I'm going to talk to you today about all of the benefits that you have at your disposal, resources that are available to you through your EAP to help to make your life a little bit easier. I'm going to start off with just talking about the counseling and clinical portion of your employee assistance program, and then I'll move into the additional services that you have at your fingertips. So through Optum's EAP, you have access to talk to a counselor or clinician telephonically 24/7, 365 days a year. So you can call at any time and speak to an EAP specialist by dialing that 866-248-4096 phone number. That's unlimited to you and your family members. I'll talk a little bit more about who is eligible and what a family member is for you. That unlimited telephonic solution consultation gives you access to master's level clinicians from the very first time you call the number. So every person that picks up the phone on your EAP is a master's level clinician. You don't necessarily need to get routed to anyone else if you need to talk to someone about something that's going on in your life, and you can call at any time. The first person you speak to is the gatekeeper. That employee assistance specialist will ask you some questions about what's going on, what your needs are, and then they can either assist you or they can direct you to whatever your needs are based on your conversation with your employee assistance specialist. You have 5 face-to-face visits that you can utilize to go and see a network clinician as well. Network clinicians are master's level clinicians, masters of social work, psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists that you can go and see, and you can choose who you'd like to see out of our provider network. Optum has the largest provider network of EAP clinicians in the United States of all EAP providers. You have access to over 120,000 different providers nationwide. So wherever you are, whatever your needs are, you should be able to find someone of your choosing to go and talk to about whatever it is that you like to talk to face-to-face. Now, those face-to-face visits are face-to-face per issue per year. So if you call in because you want to talk to someone about a death in the family, bereavement, need to speak to someone about that face-to-face, you have 5 visits to go and speak to them. Your spouse would have 5 visits also. Your son or daughter would have 5 visits also because they're all in the same household. If you called later in the year and had some other issue that was going on, some stress or anxiety that you wanted to talk to a counselor about, that would be an additional 5 visits. So it's not just 5 face-to-face visits, it's 5 visits per issue per year for every member in the household. Through your EAP, you also have access to some additional community resources that your EAP specialist will direct you to, potentially through the web and through our website, or they may give you emails that direct you to community resources that are local to you. We'll talk about additional services as well here, which include legal, mediation, financial services, as well as some work-life services. Next slide, please. So as part of your eligibility, so that I would talk about who is eligible in your services in your household. You as the employee can access the EAP and all of its services, including the 5 face-to-face visits. Your dependent children, so that's any of your children that live in the household. If you have a student that is at college or away from home, they can access the EAP, all of the telephonic services, the web platform, as well as face-to-face visits, spouse or domestic partner that's living in the household, and then any other member that's residing in the household as well. So let's say that you have a parent that you're taking care of that lives in the house, and they need to access some of the services that are available to you through the EAP. That family member, that parent, can also access your EAP services. They would just need to call into the phone number and let them know that they are the parent of an employee that lives in the household for Sunrise Medical. Next slide, please. So I talked about additional services that are available to you. Some of the available features that you have are access to legal, mediation, and financial services. So through the legal services, you can contact the EAP phone number. Again, that's the gatekeeper for everything EAP. You can call that number, talk to an EAP specialist, and then they will direct you to what you need. If you need to talk to an attorney, you get a free 30-minute telephonic conversation or face-to-face consultation with a state-specific attorney, and that, again, is per issue per year. So if I have a question about something legal, a deed, I can call in and get a 30-minute consultation. If later I have another issue and I need to talk to someone about a speeding ticket, I can ask a question there, and you have 30 minutes to talk to an attorney. Typically what will happen there is that the EAP specialist will take your information and they'll have an attorney call you back within 24 hours. That is also available to everyone in your household. After you have talked to the attorney, if you need additional time or services, you can utilize that attorney for representation at a 25% discounted rate. You also have access to mediation services. So typically this is going to be an attorney as well. You have free 30-minute telephonic or face-to-face consultation with a mediator. After that, you get a 25% discounted rate. And again, that's per issue per year. And then for financial services, you can call in and speak up to 60 minutes per issue per year with a certified financial planner or public accountant. This is a telephone-based service, so you wouldn't have the opportunity to see them face-to-face. This would just be telephonic, but you can call in and talk to a financial planner about whatever your financial needs may be or question that you have within a 60-minute telephonic consultation. So if I needed to talk to someone about taxes, I could call in. That's coming up and going to be important. Call in and ask a question about my taxes to them. You have 60 minutes to talk to them about that. If later in the year you want to talk about stocks or bonds, something different there. You can call in again. You can have 60 minutes to speak to a certified financial planner or CPA. And this, again, is for anyone that's in your household has access to those services. Now, something new to your EAP services, because we understand that money matters, are a huge cause of stress for people. And so what we've done is we have partnered with My Secure Advantage to allow you 2 sessions, 30-minute sessions with a money coach. This is different than calling in and having a 60-minute telephonic consultation with a certified financial planner. These are money coaches that work for MSA. They'll talk to you about kind of the direction and the planning for what you're looking to do for the future. To help you to build a plan for retirement or for long-term care, for college budgeting. And then you have 2 sessions with that money coach. You can call into the main number, the EAP number, let them know that you'd like to utilize your money coach, and then they would have them call you back. You also have access to web tools through My Secure Advantage when you access the money coach. Next slide, please. So within your EAP and work-life services, I talked about having access to a number of services that are non-clinical, but that will make your life significantly easier. The work-life services that are included as part of your employee assistance program include adult and elder services support, child and parenting services, chronic condition support, lifetime learning support, and then convenience services. Next slide, please. adult and elder care services allow you, if you have a parent or someone that you're working with that you're a caregiver for, and you need support with help on how to navigate the world of elder care services and adult services. So you need to look into a nursing home for someone. You need to look into government support services, legal services. You need to work on transportation to and from the hospital. The Adult Services Work-Life Advisor can assist you with not having to do the research on your own. They'll help you if you tell them what they need with finding resources in your community or giving you information so that you can spend less time researching those issues. I can give you a personal anecdote on that. My stepfather was paralyzed. We didn't know how to navigate the programs that were available to us, and so my mother and I worked on, through the elder care services, through our work-life advisor, on getting the services that were available for home health care, for respite care, for transportation, for state programs that could assist with paying for the services that he needed. Did this all through our EAP services. Child and parenting services, these allow you to talk to someone about child and parenting support. They can get you information from development experts, information for special needs, for helping your teen to deal with growing up and navigating that, because it can be difficult. Chronic condition support are aids to daily living. So this isn't condition management, this isn't a nurse, but this is support for a caregiver in helping with a chronic condition. Or if you have a chronic condition and you need support with assistance on self-care or on travel, you can contact a work-life advisor for chronic condition support. Life learning support is assistance with anything that has to do with education. So that can be with college, with special education, with finding a daycare. Your work-life advisors can assist you with any of these aspects. Call the phone number, let them know what you need. I've utilized this. I have a 16-year-old that's now looking at colleges. I can get as detailed as letting them know that she's looking within 500 miles. She wants a school within 3,000 to 10,000 students, and then the area of study that she's looking at. And they can send me information on all of those things. They can send me information about financial aid assistance and lifetime learning. If you're looking to go back to school, they can send you information about what's available in your area, costs, financial assistance, any type of educational programs, all through your work-life advisor. And then convenient services are essentially Angie's List at your fingertips. You can call in, talk to a work-life advisor or EAP specialist, and let them know that you need a plumber. And they'll send you an email that has a plumber. If you're going out of town and you need a dinner reservation, you can call your EAP and ask them, I need an Italian restaurant in Houston, Texas, 3-star, 4-star, casual dining, whatever it is that you're looking for. And they'll send you suggestions for your convenient services. So you have a number of work-life service areas that are there to make your life easier. On average, people that utilize our work-life services in these different areas save about 5 hours of time that they would be spending themselves on doing the research for themselves. So please, utilize these services if you need them. They're there for you and at your fingertips whenever you need. Next slide, please. So liveandworkwell.com is your EAP and work-life portal. If you go to liveandworkwell.com, you can enter access code SUNMED, S-U-N-M-E-D, and then hit enter anonymously, and that'll take you into the website. The website is broken out into a number of different sections. It has life and work, mind and body, financial and legal resources, crisis support, and then find a resource, which will take you into access to legal resources, financial resources, crisis support. It also has a search tab that you can just keyword in whatever you'd like to find whatever you're looking for. You can find a provider through Live and Work Well. If you're looking for legal or financial resources, you can go into the legal and financial resources page, and you can create a number of legal documents or financial documents for yourself. I did my will and my living will both on liveandworkwell.com. You go in, enter in that you'd like to create a will, and then it will populate all of the information and ask you the questions that you need to have asked in order to fill out your will. When you're finished with it, It'll explain to you how to notarize and execute your will so that it has been completely executed and a legal document for you. If you don't have a will, that's a great tool to utilize through liveandworkwell.com. There's self-help programs through there, financial programs, and it's not just about mental health and counseling. There's access into information for mind and body. There's wellness programs. There's nutrition programs, diet and exercise information and education, all throughout this resource of liveandworkwell.com. So please take some time, go out and access liveandworkwell.com. You can play around in there, take a look, see what's available to you and what resources are available to you through there as well. If you happen to ever forget your phone number that you have to go to, but you remember liveandworkwell.com, you can go in there as well, and the phone number to access an EAP specialist will be right there on the home page for you. Next slide, please. If you'd like to see a clinician, but you don't want to leave the house and go to the office to see someone face-to-face, you have access to virtual visits as well through your EAP. We call this telemental health, but what it is essentially face-to-face visit utilizing the camera on your computer or on your phone. We would find a clinician for you that does telemental health or virtual visits by calling into your EAP specialist. They would set up the appointment time for you, an authorization, and then from there you would call in and have a face-to-face visit with a provider of your choosing that does telemental health. This has enhanced security because it is through a camera as opposed to going into an office and closing a door and being face-to-face. And you can rest assured that anything that you do with an EAP specialist, with a clinician, with a counselor, in a virtual visit, in a face-to-face visit, is 100% confidential and secure. Next slide. Thank you. And as far as that confidentiality is concerned, there are a few instances where they might have to break confidentiality. Those are all listed right here, but those are few and far between. If there's a court order, it is possible that someone would have to break confidentiality, and that goes basically for all things. If state law requires that the suspicion of a child or elder, if there's a suspicion of a child or elder abuse, then that would have to be reported by a clinician. If someone makes a threat of serious harm, if someone is a danger to themselves or others, or if you sign a release for some reason within the company for a referral or something like that, then they can release information. Other than these scenarios, all of your information is strictly confidential. We will not send that information. It's completely de-identified. There's no information that's sent over to your employer about what you talk to an EAP specialist about, what you talk to a work-life specialist about, or what you talk to your counselor about face-to-face. So that's a quick overview of all of the services that are available to you through your EAP and your work-life services. There are additional services probably that you'll see that are out there. There are webinars that you can go through, self-paced programs through Live and Work Well that you can access if you go out into Live and Work Well and take a look. But just wanted to give you a high-level overview of all of the things that are available to you through your EAP and your work-life program.